The RX 6500 XT launched yesterday to rave reviews. I almost said that with a straight face. I'm kidding. This card sucks. Yeah, pretty shit card, honestly. We're going to talk a little bit about that, and also AMD's oopsie, where they deleted a blog post where they were trying to throw shade at NVIDIA some years ago about 4GB graphics cards, only to then release a 4GB graphics card that day, and it's also slower than the previous gen card of the 5500 XT. What? Okay. But yeah, that hasn't stopped people from buying them, though. Yep, they're selling on eBay for nearly double the price of what they should be. Great. 2022 is off to a fantastic start. Battlefield 2042 is finally getting a scoreboard. God of War got a PC update, which could address some issues for you guys out there. And also, we've got information on Uncharted, the Lost Thieves collection, Legacy of Thieves collection thing, which sadly still doesn't have a PC release date, but at least on PS5 you'll be able to get a $10 upgrade for the digital edition of the game if you want to do so. But first, today's video is brought to you by SuperCDK.com, where you can save money on games for all of your favorite platforms, as well as software like Windows 10 Pro for just $19.50, and then you can unlock the prestigious dark mode on Windows 10 and take advantage of that. I couldn't live without it. And if you shoot over there right now, you could save 25% off. Hit the buy now button and then put in my code JP25 at checkout. I'll walk you guys through the process right now so you can see how much money we're saving and how to go ahead and install this on your Windows 10 PC. That brings our price down to $14.62, total savings of almost $5 using that JP25 code, which will work for any software products over there. Once you're done with that, go ahead and click on Submit Order and select your payment mode of choice, which me personally is PayPal, and then I'll go ahead and complete the checkout by clicking on Pay Now. After completing the checkout, it'll bring you to your purchased order page, and it will update in a matter of seconds, or just go ahead and hit F5. Go ahead and do that one time. It came through literally immediately. I got the payment email that it had gone through and the delivery of the product exactly at the same time. Once you're done with that, go ahead and click on View Keys and Codes, and we'll get our code right here that we can go ahead and copy and paste in on Windows 10 by hitting the Start button and type in the word Activate. When you see that activation settings or see if Windows is activated, go ahead and click on that, and it'll bring up this right here, and click on Change Your Product Key or Unlock Windows 10. As I already have Windows 10, I obviously don't need to put in a new key, but just paste it in and then go ahead and click Next, and you are all done and set. For more information on SuperCDK.com as well as the coupon code, be sure to check out the links down in the description below. So you know things are bad when an AMD product launches, and even the AMD subreddit, the most notorious group of fanboys that ever fanboyed, are throwing shade on AMD's own product, with the 6500 XT being labeled as simply a joke, with benchmarks being sourced from Hardware Unboxed, although they have been pretty much widespread, all reviewers pretty much trashing the hell out of the 6500 XT because the product makes absolutely no sense. I mean, if you look here, you could see it's getting, on a 12-game average at 1080p, 79 FPS. But the 5500 XT is 81, and that's seemingly in the same, price point lineup or whatever, 55, 6500. You would expect a generational improvement, but no, it's slower than the 5500 XT, which is pretty damn terrible. The issues don't stop there. There's also issues with PCI Gen 3 support because they cut some corners on that, where it's about 40% slower on Gen 3 versus Gen 4. So really, really terrible launch to start off the year of 2022. Hopefully we see some better things in the future from AMD, and we already kind of know what the 3090 Ti is going to be, and then the RTX 3050 as well. Hopefully that's not as much of a dumpster fire as the 6500 XT launches. They are pretty similarly sort of spec, but I have a feeling that it's not going to perform worse than the cards that it's replacing. But despite, the terrible reviews, the terrible performance, and the less than zero generational improvement, if you would even, on the 6500 XT, it hasn't stopped them from selling out pretty much immediately on websites like Newegg and Amazon and Micro Centers. And of course, they're already showing up on eBay, and they have been selling for over MSRP or RRP, whatever you want to refer to it as based on your region. Yeah, these cards are selling for upwards of $350. Seems to be the average of cards that have actually sold already. Over on eBay, even one selling for $550, seemingly one of the first sales, and then it kind of dropped off quickly from there. Probably as people were seeing reviews, they had a little bit of sense, a little bit of common sense to not go and pay more than double what these cards should be selling for. But still, even $350 is ridiculous. But it also just says what the state of the GPU market is currently, which is terrible, absolutely awful. So please don't spend the money on this card, these scalper prices, and honestly, even at MSRP, this thing is an overpriced piece of shit. I don't know why anyone would pay over MSRP for this fucking brick of a card. Next up, Battlefield 2042 finally getting a scoreboard. Oh my god! Like, what's the game been out 3 months? They didn't launch it with a fucking scoreboard, probably to protect everyone's fucking snowflake feelings. But now they have a scoreboard that is currently a work in progress. It is said to be launching sometime in February as part of the 3.3 update. There was a 3.2 update yesterday, which introduced some new tweaks to XP earning and all that stuff. But here's the scoreboard right here. Sadly, on the main scoreboard itself, still doesn't show kill-death ratio. It does thankfully show kills now, which is a good piece of information that you can, see and sort of figure out, the enemy team and all that stuff. And although it's not split up, I don't know, is everything all just mixed together? Like, why would they not have the scoreboard side by side with 64 players on each side and just show the kill-death ratio like good old-fashioned scoreboards? You can see your kills and deaths, but you can't see other people's deaths, and there's also, sadly, no rank next to people's names. Again, that is a useful piece of information when you hop into a server. If you're getting absolutely destroyed, you can look at the other team on the scoreboard and you could say, oh, well, that makes sense. They're filled with a bunch of rank 1000s or whatever the fucking ranking system goes up to in Battlefield 2042, or like Bad Company 2, level 50 gold eagles, or level 100 eagles back in BF3. So yeah, there's a lot of information you can learn from looking at a scoreboard, and sadly, some of it is still missing, but hey, it's better than nothing. At least you can see the kills up there, and it's a scoreboard, but I still think it needs work. I don't know why this is really hard for DICE to get. Like, it's just a fucking scoreboard. Make it like every other fucking scoreboard, and stop this SJW snowflake fucking protection where everyone gets a participation trophy at the end of the match. Stop it. It fucking sucks. It's a competitive game. People are playing it to have fun and to compete against each other. That's it. We want to see a fucking scoreboard. Kills, deaths, ranks, normal shit. You don't have to fucking try to repaint a Picasso. It's already been painted. Do it. Scoreboard. Regular scoreboard. On to the next one. God of War got a PC update. First one since the day one patch. 1.02 was introduced earlier today. Sadly, they still didn't add in an FOV option, but I did make a video on how you could do that with the flawless widescreen mod, so be sure to go ahead and check out that video that I had uploaded on Monday if you want to adjust the field of view in God of War on the PC. But the 1.02 update is just doing a couple of bug fixes, nothing really too major, but there are two things that actually do stick out. They fixed an issue where Intel 12th gen CPU owners were not able to boot the game without disabling the integrated graphics on their CPUs, and that was an issue that was quite rife on the Steam forums, and they also fixed a user interface issue that was causing a memory leak, which I did see some people mentioning in the comments section on my performance videos where there was a memory leak with the game and stuff like that, and they refunded it. And then the other main thing, really, like I said, was the FOV was the reason people were a little bit upset with the launch of the game, even though I think the port on the game was fantastic. Like, yeah, it could do with the FOV slider in the game, but it's still not a deal breaker for me, and you can go ahead and adjust it simply with a mod. But it is silly that you have to do that, but still a fantastic game, and it's one of those games where even if it's not like a perfect 10 out of 10 port, it's still like a 9 out of 10 port or a 9.5 out of 10. And that little bit of stuff that it is missing from making it truly perfect, it's worth overlooking because of how fucking good God of War is, and getting to see a God of War game on the PC. I mean, the thing was cracked day one, as it has virtually no DRM other than just like, regular Steam DRM built into it. So the game was cracked pretty much day one. But this is really one of those games that you should definitely buy to not just support the devs. Sony has a ton of fucking money. it's more so about sending a message to Sony that PC players want to play these games, they want to buy these games and support them and get more games like this in the future, possibly even getting them on day one when they launch on the PS5 or PS4 or whatever. So I think that's really one of the main reasons that it's, don't pirate this game. Just don't. It's worth buying. It's worth the $50 or whatever they're charging for it. And that brings us to the next game here, which is only coming to the PS5 for now, but it is coming to the PC eventually, and that is Uncharted: The Legacy of Thieves collection, which includes Uncharted 4 and 2 other spin-off titles on the Uncharted series. So nice that we're finally getting to see an Uncharted game coming to the PC. Sadly, it still has no release date. It just says 2022 basically over on the Steam page, and hopefully it's before summer. Because I might just get the free upgrade, or not the free upgrade. There's a $10 upgrade on the PS5, which was, I believe this was just recently revealed. But yeah, $10 upgrade on the PS5 if you want to get the enhancements, the smooth 60 frames per second and all that. They did say that there's going to be a fidelity mode, which will be 4K native, locked to 30, but then they'll have a performance mode, which will run at 60 FPS, and it's going to be 1440p upscaled to 4K if you're playing on a 4K TV. And then if you're playing on a 1080p television, the performance mode will actually run at 1080p, but it's going to be super sampled from 1440, so it'll have some improved anti-aliasing. And that is going to be launching next Friday, January 28th, and it's going to be $50. It's already available over on, grab it off Amazon, or you probably just grab it digitally on the PS5 if you want to. Definitely looking forward to seeing these enhancements. And like I said, I'll probably get the $10 upgrade, and then I'll pick it up when it comes out in PC as well, because I love the Uncharted series. And just like with God of War, I want to send that message to Sony that PC players want more of these titles coming to the PC. So even if I'm not going to play it too much on the PC and just benchmark it for the channel, I'll buy it anyway, just to support them and hopefully get more games like this in the future. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Hope you guys all have a great day. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below on all of the news topics we covered here, including the 6500 XT and that fantastic card that released yesterday. Were you able to buy one? Did you? Don't buy one. Just don't. I don't care how desperate you are. Run on integrated graphics, or I don't know, buy a console. Even an Xbox 360 at this point. I'd rather have one of those with that library of games versus grabbing a 6500 XT. Dumpster fire of a card. But I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Hope you guys all have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time for another video.